Oh, are we starting now? Oh, okay. Sorry, I just didn't realize it. Okay. Hi. Okay, hello YouTube, and welcome back to another monthly Chronicle. This time is for March 2013. Yay. So before we really get into the video, I just thought I'd share that I am now reading the third Hunger Games book. I took a little break in between the second and third because, you know, I talked to you guys about reading the first Hunger Games book during the first vlog video, and then I talked to you guys about reading the second vlog video, about reading the second Hunger Games book during the second vlog video. So I thought I'd just read the third one around the time I'm going to do the third vlog video. So, in your face. The theme this month. What is the theme this month? Oh yeah, right. My favorite music. There are basically two kinds of music, or I classify them as two kinds of music that I like. I like what I call soundtrack music and regular music. I like a lot of soundtrack music. I remember the first soundtracks that I got into were the Star Wars soundtracks by John Williams, which expanded into me getting into like the Indiana Jones soundtracks and the Harry Potter soundtracks, because John Williams did the first three Harry Potter films. And then after Goblet of Fire was done by Patrick Doyle, and then Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince were done by Nicholas Hooper, and then Deathly Hallows Parts 1 and 2 were done by Alexandre Desplat. I really like the Harry Potter scores. If I had to rank them in terms of which score I think was most successful, I'd say the first one with the most successful score would probably be the first film, Philosopher's Stone, aka Sorcerer's Stone, because America. But second would probably be Prisoner of Azkaban. That one's actually, I might reverse that. Prisoner of Azkaban I think actually is my favorite now that I actually think about it, because Prisoner of Azkaban, track 7, A Window to the Past, at least I think it's track 7, fact check me later. But track 7 is Window to the Past, I believe, and that's my all-time favorite Harry Potter song. So I'd say Half-Blood Prince. What am I talking about? I can't focus! Prisoner of Azkaban has to be my favorite Harry Potter soundtrack. Second would then be Sorcerer's Stone, because that was my original first, until I realized I was wrong. Third would probably, actually, I think my third one would be Deathly Hallows Part 2, and then my fourth would be Deathly Hallows Part 1. I was originally bummed when John Williams didn't come back to do Deathly Hallows like the rumors were, but Alexandre Desplat did a really good job adapting the Harry Potter soundtracks, and his scores, I feel, were the closest to Williams' original, while still maintaining a new aspect that was totally original to Alexandre Desplat, and it really brought the Harry Potter films full circle musically, in my own opinion. What am I at now? Fifth? Fifth would probably be Half-Blood Prince. Sixth would be Chamber of Secrets, I think. Seventh would be Order of the Phoenix, and eighth would be Goblet of Fire. I'm sorry, I like Patrick Doyle's music and all. He also did the music for Thor, and he did the music for Aragon, which I know Aragon was not that great of a movie, but the score was incredible anyway. But Goblet of Fire wasn't one of Patrick Doyle's best. I'm sorry. Other scores that I like, I think possibly the greatest scores ever in the history of ever are the Lord of the Rings soundtracks, which would include The Hobbit now that the Hobbit movies are being made. They're all done by Howard Shore, who is just genius. Lord of the Rings are the most successful scores in my mind. Harry Potter are, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I think the soundtracks that have the most replay value out of any soundtrack I've ever heard would be the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtracks. I mean, who doesn't love the Pirates of the Caribbean music? I love the Pirates of the Caribbean music, and I know a lot of you must love the Pirates of the Caribbean music. I mean, the theme for Jack Sparrow, even like the fighting songs have their real kind of driving, they all have a melody to it. It's not like normal battles movie sequences where it's just like some indiscriminate music. Indiscriminate, that was totally the wrong word. Battle music that doesn't always have a set melody or theme carried throughout. Pirates of the Caribbean actually feels that way, even though sometimes it's not. It does have that kind of driving melody through it, which makes it great for which again makes it good for replay value. And all the themes are just amazing. There's a debate about who is really the genius behind the first Pirates of the Caribbean score, Curse of the Black Pearl. It's music composed by Klaus Badelt on the thing, but I'm pretty sure that Badelt composed the music and scored the whole film, but Hans Zimmer, who composed and everything else on the second, third, and fourth films, actually composed all of the themes for the first film, but he was unable to score the first film, which is why Klaus Badelt did everything based on Zimmer's themes, which I think was how it went. I have this thing on my Chronicles Company Pictures blog where I created a ultimate movie music compilation from all these different movies, some of which I haven't even seen, but I know of because they're so big. And I collected samples from all their soundtracks and put it onto this one album. It's like 5 discs long and 75 tracks. If you really like movie music, you should go check that out and maybe look up some of those soundtracks because they're all really good. All of them. I mean, like, really good. I'm going to go ahead and transition into my other music category, which is the regular category. And this is basically just my loose term for everything that's not a soundtrack. So, like bands and artists and musicians and those kinds of things, you know. I'm a particular fan of, well, in case you couldn't tell by my sweatshirt or the shirt that I'm wearing under my sweatshirt or the shirt that I'm wearing under my shirt, that I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. I mean, the Beatles are just, they're classics, man. I mean, has any band ever had as much success as the Beatles? And don't you dare say One Direction. It's been a while since I've sat down and actually listened to their albums. I've listened to songs periodically, but there's a period where I would listen to the Beatles like every single day. And I'm actually going to challenge myself right now. I've got a clipboard and a pencil. I'm going to write down every album, and I'm going to name a song from that album as my favorite song. So their first album was Fail. Their first album... Fail! Dang it, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with this pencil? First album was Please Please Me. And my favorite song off of that album was I Saw Her Standing There. The next album, I believe, was With the Beatles. With the Beatles. What was even on With the Beatles? I'm going to say All My Loving was the first, was my favorite song off of With the Beatles. After With the Beatles, I believe came Hard Day's Night. Hard Day's Night, that was a really good album. That was, they did the Hard Day's Night movie too, which had a lot of the songs off of this album. I think the first song that came to my mind when I thought of Hard Day's Night, apart from obviously Hard Day's Night, but the first other song that came to my mind was If I Fell. After Hard Day's Night came Beatles for Sale, and to be honest, that's my least favorite Beatles album. I'm not as familiar with it, but I do know the song 8 Days a Week came off of that one. That one's a good song. And after Beatles for Sale came Help, which out of the Beatles movies, Help is probably my favorite. Help, my favorite song off of Help, there are a lot of good songs on Help. I like Ticket to Ride. I'm going to put that one down. After Help came oh, darn it, pencil. After Help came Rubber Soul, which is by far my favorite Beatles album out of all of them. And I know what song is my favorite off of Rubber Soul. That is Think for Yourself. And after Rubber Soul came Revolver. I'm not going to put it down as my favorite song because there are a lot of really good songs on here, but one song I can point out is And Your Bird Can Sing. Now this song is on the English version of Revolver, but then on the American version of that album, And Your Bird Can Sing was not on that album, and actually that song was never on any of the American albums until they were re-released, I think. So when they first were released back in the 60s, And Your Bird Can Sing was not on any American album. After Revolver came Sgt. Pepper. I'm going to go with a little help from my friends. Darn it, pencil. After Sgt. Pepper came Magical Mystery Tour, which is my second favorite album. And my favorite from Magical Mystery Tour is probably Fool on the Hill. And then after Magical Mystery Tour comes White Album. White Album is probably... No, Beatles for Sale is my least favorite. White Album's my second least favorite. The songs that don't make much sense kind of get to me after a while. But off the White Album, my favorite song is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. George was my favorite Beatle, so a lot of my favorite songs are George songs. Okay, after White Album came... After White Album... White Album... Did it add... Is there another one in between? I should know this. I'm such a bad Beatles fan at this moment. I used to know. Abbey Road, I think, is next. My favorite song off Abbey Road. Abbey Road had a lot of good songs on it, too. Maybe Here Comes the Sun. Darn it, pencil. And then Let It Be is technically the last album, even though Let It Be as an album was recorded before Abbey Road. Abbey Road was the last album the Beatles recorded. It's just that Let It Be was, they filmed that movie that was more of a documentary about Let It Be. And so that album was delayed until the film was ready, so Abbey Road in the meantime was recorded and released before Let It Be. Yeah, so Let It Be. My favorite song off of Let It Be, again, I probably have to say I Me Mine, another George song. It's technically not an album, but you also have Past Masters, which is a compilation of singles that were released that didn't have it, or not that they weren't attached to an album, but the songs themselves didn't actually get onto the album. So you have like a lot of notable songs were singles that weren't connected to albums, like I Want to Hold Your Hand and Hey Jude. There was another really big one that was not actually connected to an album. I forget, but Past Masters, that's another tough one because I Want to Hold Your Hand and Hey Jude are really big. But I'm going to put Hey Jude down. There's another thing that I've always kind of wondered, especially since they re-released the Beatles albums in 2009, why on Past Masters they didn't include the two singles that were released in the 90s. I mean, I guess technically some people don't even count them as legitimate Beatles songs because the songs in question were John Lennon demos after the Beatles broke up, but then they had Paul, George, and Ringo took John's demos and then recorded around the demos to kind of fulfill the songs that were never finished. And so the two songs in question, Free as a Bird and Real Love, I always kind of wondered why they didn't put those songs on Past Masters. They just leave them off. I mean, again, I think I already said this, but some people don't consider them to be legitimate Beatles songs because they weren't actually the Beatles when the songs were written, and, you know, John Lennon was already dead when the rest of the song was completed, so I guess in that sense they're not legitimate Beatles songs, but I really like the two of them, but that's pretty much it for what I'm going to talk about in this vlog video. No, it's not, because I only talked about the Beatles, didn't I? I didn't talk about any of the other artists I like. Well, there aren't a ton of them anyway. I mean, I like David Bowie, and he has a new album coming out this month. I'm so excited. My brother's already pre-ordered it. He and I are big Bowie fans. I also really enjoy The Police. The only other artist I can actually think of I enjoy listening to, and she's not even from like the 70s or 80s, I kind of like Adele. I mean, she makes good enough music, and it's not like that auto-tune or electronic or anything like that. That's what I think is wrong with music nowadays. There's too much of that. Not enough real singing. I mean, electronic and auto-tune can only lead to Rebecca Black's Friday, and that was a nightmare. Now I actually am going to leave you. Hold on, we're not done yet. I forgot to mention two things. First one, of course, being I didn't give you a film fun fact, and second being that I have an announcement to make. I'm going to make the announcement first, though. These vlog videos, when I first started making the vlog videos, I announced that after March, that these videos will not be uploaded on my primary channel anymore. They will start being uploaded on my second channel. So this is the last one that will be uploaded on my first channel. But I am going to extend the offer out that if you really don't want to just subscribe to my other channel, I can still upload them here, but I kind of really do want to put them up on my second channel anyway, because I don't have as many videos on that channel, and I don't have as many subscribers either. And I really want to get that account kick-started, because my plan is by the end of the year to have my second channel be my primary channel.
Yeah, no, just kind of a way to cushion the impact, maybe. And secondly, my film fun fact for this month, it's going to be from Star Wars Episode 5, Return of the Jedi. Epic fail. I am a horrible person. Empire Strikes Back. It is not Return of the Jedi. I am an idiot. One of the most iconic lines from that movie, apart from the one you immediately thought of, is the exchange between Han Solo and Princess Leia, the I love you, and then Han says, I know line. It was scripted to be Princess Leia saying, I love you, and then Han Solo would say, I love you too, or something like that. And then the director, who was not George Lucas, said that he wasn't liking it. He told Harrison Ford to just go with whatever he felt like. And so Harrison Ford, in one take, finally said the famous line, I know, instead of I love you too. And that became one of the Empire Strikes Back's most iconic lines. Yeah, so I will see you next month. Still not done, because I forgot about some more stuff I want to talk about. And this is like 2 weeks after the last segment, before the 2 weeks after the original segment, and maybe like a little more than a week for the first segment. So yeah, I am so good at remembering things. Anyway, so I put out a video a couple weeks ago, just talking about this project that Mr. Seven Random Seven's working on, and he got all the funding. He's in the clear, so his project is a go, and we wish him the best of luck. I don't know who we is. That's just me, but I wish him the best of luck. We, as you, my subscribers, can wish him luck too, and then we can say it's we. But yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be exciting. And also this month, depending on what day I actually upload this video, I have no set date for when this video is being uploaded. In my own camera, I just realized I might be a little too far to the side. Depending on what day it is, I'm either going to be releasing or have already released the first couple comics in my new season of Comics Season 6 on my comics blog. There's going to be a link to that in the description. Please check that out. I worked so hard on them. That's pretty much it, I guess. So yeah, see you next month, and hopefully I'm more prepared than I am right now. Goodbye.